What culture shock symptoms do Americans face in high-context Asian cultures? Imagine moving to a place where communication is like an iceberg, with most of the meaning hidden beneath the surface. That's what life in high-context Asian cultures can feel like for Americans. When you first arrive, you might notice that people don't say exactly what they mean. Instead, they're relying on subtle gestures, tone of voice, and shared understanding. This can be confusing if you're used to direct and clear conversations back home. You may start feeling anxious or frustrated because you don't always understand social cues right away. For example, an indirect comment might seem polite but actually carry criticism. Or you might miss the cues that tell you when someone is upset or happy. This can make you feel out of place or even isolated, especially if language barriers make it harder to pick up on these signals. Homesickness can also sneak in when you miss the familiar ways of communicating and socializing. Physically, you might notice changes like feeling more tired than usual or having trouble sleeping. Adjusting to new routines, different work hours, or a slower pace of life can drain your energy. Changes in appetite are common too, especially if your usual foods or mealtimes are different. You might find yourself feeling more fatigued during the day or having irregular sleep patterns because your body is trying to adapt. In the workplace, Americans often expect direct feedback and quick decision-making. But in high-context cultures, feedback is often subtle or given in a roundabout way. Hierarchies matter more, and building relationships is key to getting things done. This can cause stress or misunderstandings if you're not familiar with the importance of relationships, or guanxi, in professional settings. You might feel like your efforts aren't appreciated or that you're missing important cues from colleagues. Dealing with unfamiliar systems for healthcare, housing, and daily living can add to the stress. For example, understanding health insurance options or rental agreements might be tricky because the norms are different. People often don't ask direct questions or confront issues openly, which can make it harder to get clear answers. This can lead to feelings of frustration or uncertainty about your choices. To manage these symptoms, it helps to learn about local customs and communication styles before and during your stay. Practicing patience and giving yourself time to adjust is important. Connecting with locals and other expatriates can provide support and guidance. Building awareness of cultural differences reduces misunderstandings and makes social interactions smoother. Staying connected with family and friends back home can also help ease homesickness. Overall, the main culture shock symptoms for Americans in high-context Asian cultures come from differences in communication, social norms, and expectations in work and daily life. Recognizing these differences and preparing for them can make your transition easier and more enjoyable.